What's up guys, it's Punchy, and in the latest Deepwoken update, we just received a crazy new boss in the deep depths of Layer 2. So there's a bunch of exclusive loot and weapons only unlockable through this content update, but I'm really excited to see changes to already established areas of gameplay that were kinda lacking. Besides the new events in this update, a new secret boss has been added to the depths of Layer 2. This guy is a crazy champion KYRSGARDE with a sick design and dynamic combat statuses and a ton of exclusive new loot. To actually fight this boss, you have to activate all the obelisks just like normal, talk to the owl guy with some Curse and medallions to activate the power strength buff, head to the lake with the Lightborn and up this new cliff, and there's gonna be a new thing to interact with. This is the giant purge shrine that you can talk to, and once we do that, we just gotta fight Etheron just like normal. After defeating him, you'll notice that the collapse timer has been extended, becoming much longer, and when you escape across that bridge, you'll see this giant KYRSGARDE champion. With this new extended time, you can take on this mini boss for his exclusive content, but he's pretty insane to deal with as Layer 2 falls apart. Anyway, now it's finally time to check it out. This KYRSGARDE is absolutely massive compared to any of the other ones that we've already seen in New Cursa, and he looks crazy as well with his drip. This boss has a unique cape that moves around when he fights, and his animations sync well with that fluid movement. Also, I almost forgot to mention, like seriously, take a look at his weapon. This is almost a giant Winter spear saw looking thing, and it's pretty ridiculous to fight against. This boss looks great, and it fits in well with the Curse designs that we've seen time and time again, but of course the combat here is going to be our focus. That's all for the introduction of this boss. Let's begin with its gameplay, since it's pretty interesting and dynamic compared to the rest. As always, make sure to like and subscribe and comment down below if I missed something or any other strategies for the players down below. This KYRSGARDE champion has a couple of effects that stay consistent on all of his attacks, which I consider conditions during the fight. The entire time you're throwing hands with this guy, Layer 2 is going to be collapsing, which means insta-kill orbs appear during the fight. To be fair, their hitboxes are fairly forgiving and won't always wipe your character if you're close to them, but a single ragdoll or slowdown from this guy can potentially insta-kill and end your build. They're very dangerous to say the least, but it gets even crazier when you take his other basic effects into mind. Every single attack from this boss applies a slowdown effect that seems to either last a long time or is straight up unremovable from the player. From what I've experienced after fighting this guy a few times, if you're slowed down by the Curse and Chill effect, there is absolutely no way to remove the status without using some specific ability or build. Every attack chills the player, and that can get kinda crazy when you're moving around dodging those insta-kill orbs. The best way to avoid being chilled by this boss is defending his attacks, but if you're with a team, he kinda focuses on only a single person, allowing you to switch off when under pressure. Finally, I guess it's basic, but this boss also places down a giant ice eruption round spark wall that surrounds the players and reduces the area they can move around. I wouldn't consider this a move, but it's more of a bonus thing that traps your team. Now, with all the basic effects and statuses you gotta worry about taken out of the way, let's talk about the boss's moveset. I will admit, the HP, damage, and overall difficulty of this boss aren't reaching Valve Iron levels, but he is pretty dangerous when you consider the fact that you can wipe during this trial. But anyway, let's begin with the basics. So, a couple of the KYRSGARDE champion moves send out ranged attacks or projectiles, and they're probably the easiest ones to defend against. The first attack is conditional, and it's simple in design. Whenever you move out of melee range of the KYRSGARDE, he's going to be sending out a linear path of ice spikes that ragdoll and chill the player on hit. Simply sidestep this attack or stay at close range during the fight, and you won't ever have to worry about this whatsoever. I'm not sure if it is defendable, but I'd stay close if you really want to avoid it. Next, there's a telegraphed attack where the boss spins his weapon in the air, then stabs down, releasing 3 undodgeable ice spikes consecutively. The best way to deal with this attack is to parry one after the other while closing in to punish, but don't try to dodge these attacks. Moving past the projectiles or ranged attacks, there's a few other moves that you gotta watch out for. It's a bit more involved than just parrying or dodging. We have to use mobility to counterplay some of these attacks. One move that the KYRSGARDE uses is a massive leap into the air, leading into a giant AoE explosion. Honestly, I believe there's actually no way to defend this move, but you have to jump off the ground before the impact. Once you see the boss coming down, just jumping into the air should do the trick. Another attack that requires the player to do a jump and then instantly crouch is his 2/ combo. The KYRSGARDE starts off this sequence with a fast but low attack that must be jumped over, followed up by a secondary secondary slice that you have to crouch or uppercut under. The first jump needs to happen very fast, but you do have some time to land and crouch underneath the secondary attack. I'd say that this sequence is one of the hardest to read in my opinion, but once you get it down, it's a free punish. Next up, with the string of attacks, this has a couple of different special defenses you gotta switch through. The boss will do 4 hits that are blockable or parryable, but they deal very high posture damage, and this combo is gonna finish with an unblockable stab. I'd say stay patient and react to the initial part of this combo, since there's a big delay at the final stab. Next up, with an attack that's only dodgeable, this boss will do an instant stab with his spear at the player, and it's not really too insane. It's a simple attack that must be reacted to with a dodge. With some other mix-ups for the KYRSGARDE champion, he has some different moves that combine some of these new defenses that you probably want to look out for. There's a short sequence of attacks that's 2 normal slices that are defendable anyway, followed up by a slash that you must crouch under. So there's enough time to deal with this one, but I always end up doing an uppercut after to deal extra damage during my punish. After that, there's also another combo which is multiple defendable slashes at first, but then the boss forces the player to jump, then dodge the next attack. There's a massive delay on the final red unblockable attack, but it should be manageable once you're able to jump over that unparryable white attack, and yeah, you could follow up pretty quickly. Finally, with his last attack, this is the absolute worst thing to react against. With an unblockable red stomp, he does this attack extremely delayed, but then the boss instantly follows up with a shoulder charge into multi-slashes. I think the best way to counter and defend this attack is by sidestepping the initial stomp entirely so you're far enough away from the boss before he can even charge in. There's not too much else to say about this other than the fact its windup is terrible, but once you dodge the first stomp slam down, it's extremely easy to avoid since you're already far away. After all that's said and done and you get your hits in, the KYRSGARDE champion is finally cooked and you can get your hands on some of the exclusive loot. Many of the drops here can only be obtained after fighting this boss, and it requires you to do the run on the slot that you want to use. So I'm pretty sure you cannot drop or bank any of the rewards here, so it's worth doing if you want to try it out. But anyway, that's all for this boss. I will say, I think it's a bit lower difficulty than the Valve Iron roster that we got earlier in verse 3, but with the status effects, constant orb pressure, and the fear of wiping, you know, they elevate this boss in this game mode. So hopefully we'll be seeing even harder enemies or bosses coming soon to some of the slept on content, and this one is really clean. What do you guys think? Leave your comments down below. Thanks once again to all the supporters who motivate me daily and directly help out the channel because it means a lot. If you want to join as a member for my channel, go down below, but besides that, my personal Discord, guild Discord, and my UGC group are linked down below, so check them out. Thanks once again, and make sure to like and subscribe. It's punching time.